So I'm Jonathan Allen from Search Engine Watch, and I'm with Thom Craver, Garry Przyklenk, Tovan, Horne and Dave Davies, who also write for Search Engine Watch, except for Terry, who writes for SEO Dojo. And we've just done the Panda Apocalypse session in SES Toronto, where we've been looking at strategies and insights into what happened with the latest algorithm change called Panda. And my question to you guys is, how should webmasters and SEOs be spending their time and resources now in a post-Panda world?
I think that does depend a lot on what types of sites they're running and whether they had a problem during Panda or not. I think just as you would with any situation, we have to look at Panda kind of like a normal algorithmic update or like a standard algorithmic update. Did you suffer? Did you win? Did you lose? Did you stay the same? And then start to take a look at your site from a user standpoint and an incoming link standpoint. And if you lost, well, why did you lose? Is the problem on your site or is it inherent in your linking strategies? Gearing towards article syndication or something like that was hit, and make the necessary adjustments and learn from the future and start to focus on what do your users want, because that's what Google wants to provide to their users. So if you just follow that general rule, overall you're going to do pretty well.
Analyzing your traffic is very important. Analyzing your traffic against business objectives is very important. Trying not to put all your eggs in one basket. Build a community around different applications on different traffic sources. And once you do that and have a good mix that is actually driving actionable business outcomes to your site, then you're not as affected when an algorithm change comes about.
Exactly. If you were hit, first of all, don't panic. Look at the rest of your traffic. Look at your micro conversions. Look at your macro conversions. If your sales or if your whatever your KPIs that you're measuring are down, then you have something to worry about. Start looking at your content, start cleaning things up, and make sure your quality content is there, because it's always been about the quality content. But remember the main goal, which is focusing on your analytics and your KPIs.
What I found when I started looking at the sites was two things. Most of them were ugly, full of ads, terrible user experience. So once again, don't look at your site from your point of view. Ask yourself, what do other people think about it? And the second thing, diversify, diversify, diversify. Just like in a stock portfolio, you want to have lots of different techniques, SEO-wise, and lots of audiences and sources of traffic.
Now, I think something else that's important to remember if you had a problem during the Panda update is it is a manual rollout. It's not something that's just inherent in the entire system constantly now. So if you are going through repairing, don't see that it crawled a page and then assume that it didn't work simply because it's hit your page. This is something that hits every few weeks because they update it and they roll it out again. So you're going to have to be patient and wait till the next time you hear about a rollout and then reanalyze what you're doing, which is enormously frustrating for us, but it is probably the right way to do it, to see, is this something you're actually willing to stick with, or is this just something to try and game the system again?
Being aware of latest changes in Panda and what you said, Terry, about diversifying. I mean, what was interesting about this panel was, to the question of how much traffic should you rely on from Google, there was a kind of unanimous response. So, yeah, how much should we be diversifying our traffic? Should we rely on Google traffic?
You should never rely on more than, on one source. You have to rely on more than one. So, not just your Google Organic, but your Bing, even your Yahoo or your Dogpile or any other ones as well. Rely on your links and your referrers, and rely on, any paid ads you might have. But no, putting all your eggs in one basket, bad news. If Google changes and your content is up to par, then you're gone, you're history.
There was also a significant social aspect to this panel. So we talked a lot about building a community and what kind of success you can have when you look to different personas, different groups of people, different interest groups, and what kind of power that yields. So once you build a community, you really have that loyalty behind you, and that's not going to go away. It's something that just grows over time, right?
I'd agree with that. One of the things that I've always done is look for audiences, not placement. I want a whole bunch of different people coming to my website for different reasons. And once again, it's based on what makes a business profitable, not what search engines need to rank higher, because high rankings don't necessarily mean higher sales.
Well, and something to consider when thinking of diversification. I mean, we talk a lot about diversification, and we bring up the main engines, and we bring up paid search, and sometimes we bring up Facebook as well. But as thinking outside that scope, I mean, I know when I started my company, I didn't have rankings. It was a brand new company competing for SEO phrases. I mean, that's not going to happen fast. So I needed to look outside and find other places where the people that I wanted were. And you know, writing for great resources like Search Engine Watch and stuff like that is great traffic. Now that works for a company like mine, but look in your industry and see where else can I get traffic? Where can I build my authority? That's going to help your site long term, and it's also going to help you drive some traffic now and into the future.
Brilliant. Well, Dave, Terry, Gary, Tom, thanks for speaking to us today. Absolutely. Cheers.
Thanks.